This one comes from Alan Jacobs, writing in Practical Punting in November 1995. The two races he's about to walk you through are from that spring, and that's rather the point. The clues were sitting in the form guide the whole time, in plain sight, for anyone who took 5 minutes to look. He did. Most didn't. Alan called them hidden aces. When we look at form, what are we really looking for? Confirmation of something we already have in mind? Are we looking for similar confirmation for what the tipsters have chosen, or what the bookies have decided in their early markets? Few punters can approach form study with an open mind. We all hold prejudices, whether it's against a certain horse, or a trainer, or a jockey. We have a thing about wide barriers, or maybe have always thought that any horse over 10-1 is not worth looking at. It's essential, I believe, for any punter doing form analysis to treat each runner on level terms. That is, put out of your mind, as far as humanly possible, all the hype you may have read about certain horses, and your own little theories and likes and dislikes. Try to see each horse as an individual. What are its claims to the race? Has it any recent form which might suggest that it can lay a viable claim to the current race? Is there a race which you can look at and relate to the current race? Even if a horse is a despised 100-1 outsider, it might be worth the 5 minutes you spend looking at it. Sometimes you might not unearth a winner, but you could stumble on a roughie capable of getting into a second or third slot. Think about the quinella value of horses like these. Let's look at a couple of recent races. Firstly, to the 23rd of September and the George Main Stakes at Randwick, run over 1,600 metres. This was a Group 1 race and attracted a strong field. While many runners obviously had chances, the actual winner, Tiradu, was more or less neglected in the pre-race summaries and in the betting. He was sent out at 12-1. Yet any punter who took the time to delve into Tiradu's form would have been forewarned that he was in the race with a top chance, certainly a better one than his odds indicated. He was having his second run from a spell, so we could assume he was fit enough for the mile, especially as he had run well at his previous first-up run, finishing only 3.9 lengths behind Ivory's Irish in a Group 2 1,300-metre dash. But if you had checked back on his form last time in, the clues were all there. The last time he raced over 1,600 metres was at Eagle Farm on the 6th of May, when he won the prestigious Queensland Guineas, beating Juggler, Brave Warrior, Ivory's Irish and Dana Singer. His previous 1,600-metre start was on the 9th of March at Gosford, when he beat Persian Flyer and Lament in the Gosford Guineas. We can see then that Tiradu can rightly claim to be a top-class miler. As well as his 1,600-metre form, he won the Queensland Derby over 2,400 metres in June, beating Brave Warrior again, and also ran a bold third to Dane Win and Dana Singer in the 2,020-metre Doomben Cup. So why was Tiradu sent out at 12-1? It makes you wonder, doesn't it? Quick pause before the second one. If you're getting something out of this, a like genuinely helps it find the people it's meant for. And there's a fresh one going up every day just now, weekly a bit further down the road, so subscribe and they'll come to you. Plenty of racing talk out there promising you the world. I'd sooner the careful stuff reach the folk who actually want it. Right, where were we? We might apply the same sense of wonderment to the 50-1 win by Ivory's Irish at Rosehill on the 9th of September. This high-class galloper was resuming from a 3-month break in a 1,300-metre race, the Theo Marks quality, in which he had 57 kilos. The clue to Ivory's Irish's first-up ability can be traced back to the 3rd of December last year, when he resumed after a 5-month break in a, you guessed it, 1,300-metre race at Rosehill. He didn't win, but he did finish 4th, only 1 length behind the winner, Money thinks. This was not the same class of race as the Theo Marks, but it did contain the likes of Stonebrook Meadow and Nick's Joy. Ivory's Irish went on from that run to win 2 successive 1,400-metre races at Randwick. It was clear then that he was a horse capable of firing when first up from a spell. This he did, powering home to beat Flight to Fantasy and Danewin at those lucrative 50-1 odds. These are 2 examples of how you can latch on to possible winners simply by taking the time to search for clues. In essence, you are like a detective trying to unravel a mysterious crime. You need to search for the clues which will lead you not to a killer, but to a winner. It can be time-consuming, but in the long run, well worth all your time and trouble. If you really feel it will be all too much for you, why not get out of your mind the prospect of doing every race? Stick to the daily double. That's just 2 races with, say, 14 runners in each. 28 horses to be considered at, say, 5 minutes each. That's a couple of hours with your form guides. If you could isolate just one winner, like Turidu, every couple of weeks, it would all be more than worthwhile, wouldn't it? Much depends on the individual where form study is concerned. I know some people love it. Others cannot be bothered. Some try, but just can't concentrate after a hard day's work. My point is that it really is worth the effort. Do it if you can. Those races are long gone now, but the method hasn't aged a day. The form guide still tells you more than the market does if you'll sit down and give it the 5 minutes. I've put the whole thing together as a free ebook, Hidden Aces, Part 1. The link's just below this video. Keep it beside you on race day. And remember, never bet more than you can afford to lose. That's me for now. Look after yourself, trust your form study, and I'll see you soon.